everybody, and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G. John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Saturday, only here on Top Shelf Oldies. Welcome to the December 14th, 2019 Vinyl Treasure Show. I'm here a little late because YouTube changes their stuff around all the time. Hey, we got a new look, and I don't know what to do. Oh, my goodness. But hopefully I am broadcasting okay, and I'm looking okay to you guys over on the YouTube webcam. That seems to be my main source of a chat room now. But thank you for joining Johnny G for the 50s and early 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. We opened up with organist bandleader Doc Bagby. I think Daryl Letts might have requested this a while back. I saw it sitting in the box. I said, I got to play this for Daryl. A song entitled Dumplings, which charted on Billboard number 69, on Billboard number 47 on Cashbox, a big number 8 on KPHO out of Phoenix, Arizona. That's from July 57, Doc Bagby on OK Records, a song entitled Dumplings. Well, anyway, let's start her off with the vocal portion here with a flip side from last week's Vinyl Treasure Show. It's on Lou Bedell's Dore label. By a group called the Baritones. I played a request for the Colonel. The song was called Sentimental Baby. Let's flip it over. It's a jump on the flip side. The group is supposedly the Q's, the same group that did a lot of session work here in New York City for the likes of Laverne Baker, Ruth Brown, Ivory Joe Hunter, and others. But we open up the vocal portion from May 58, the Baritones on Dore. It's called After School Rock.
Do be doo be doo doo wop wah do be doo doo wop wah do be doo wop wah do be doo wop wah do be doo wop wah. Then they start doing the after school rock. Come from school and Tony puts on the floor. Dance down to that candy store. Ask the man for a soda pop. Then they start doing the after school rock. Rock and roll in the doing the after school rock. No, they never get tired of the latest dance they do. No, they never get tired. That's why I'm telling you. Now they talk to the dirty pussy. Dance down to that candy store. Ask the man for a soda pop. Then they start doing the after school rock. No, they never get tired of the latest dance they do. No, they never get tired. That's why I'm telling you. Now they come to the dirty pussy store. Dance down to that candy store. Ask the man for a soda. Then they start doing the after school rock. 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 Be doo be doo doo, wop wah doo. Be doo be doo doo, wop wah doo. Be doo be doo doo, wop wah doo. Be doo be doo doo, wop wah.
We open up the vocal portion there from May 58. They're called the Baritones. The Baritones on the Dore record label After School Rock. They are the Q's, supposedly the Q's there as the Baritones. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening. I apologize for being a little bit discombobulated. Went to the city today to see Cirque du Soleil. What's with all the Santa outfits today? Every young kid looked like, not young kid, I guess millennial, looked like they had Santa outfits on. It was odd. Anyway, let's continue here with another flip side, this time from my aunt's tribute show, the tribute show I did for my Aunt Mary a few weeks ago. I played the biggest hit by the Eldorados. It was, of course, you know the tune, At My Front Door. Now, the group had 10 releases on the VJ label, and for those 20 sides, Perkle Moses was on lead for 17 of them. Now, the ones he did not do lead on were A Fallen Tear. That was pretty much all the guys. And then the B-side to their first release, their debut single on VJ, it was called Baby I Need You. Arthur Bassett, he was on lead. And this one that I'm featuring, which is the B-side to their biggest hit, At My Front Door. This one from June 55, the Eldorados on VJ. You flip it over and you get Lewis Bradley on lead. These are the Eldorados with What's Buggin' You, Baby.
you harm like you do? Why do you raise a storm and get your brew in a stew? What's bugging you, baby? You meet and quick on the bit. Don't make with the maybe. Don't miss when you ought to hit.
Every time I flip a dime, you start blowing your top. It must be because there's your way all over the lot. Shoo!
What's bugging you, baby? Make with the schools for the crew. Give out to your baby, baby, baby. What's bugging you?
Time I flip a dime, you start blowing your top. It must be because there's your way all over the lot. Shoo!
What's bugging you, baby? Make with the scoops for the crew. Give out to your baby, baby, baby. What's bugging you?
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. The Eldorados there. That's the B-side to At My Front Door. What's Bugging You, Baby? June 1955 release. Vivian Carter's VJ record label. Lewis Bradley on lead for that one. Not Perkle Lee Moses. Lewis Bradley as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Got a lot of requests for tonight's show. And have a request for South Carolina listener Bob I cannot pronounce your name. Vigiano. No, did I say that right, Bob? I apologize. Vigiano, I think is how you say it. But anyway, or Johnny G's bumbling here tonight as he requested this group from New Haven, Connecticut, and of course the Nutmeg State. I'm talking about the Nutmegs. We send it out to Bob. It's their second biggest hit, which was a follow-up to their biggest hit, Story Untold. The second of 7 on Herald, features Leroy Griffin on lead. He also wrote the tune. Going out to Bob, August 1955. Give a listen to the Nutmegs on Herald and Ship of Love.
The ship of love carried you from beneath me, but I'll always love you for eternity. I spend my nights by the lonely sea, wondering, are you thinking? Are you thinking of me? Yes, my nights are too lonely for dream. You're never coming back, so it seems. I remember the time when your lips kissed mine. Darling, why did you leave? My heart is aching for your love, sweetheart.
Darling, why did you leave me? Please tell me why, sweetheart. You don't know, darling, how much you mean to me. Please come back and bring me happiness. My heart is aching for your love, sweetheart. When you come back, darling, we will never, never part.
We got to send that one out to Bob Vigiano. Did I say it right, Bob? I hope I did. You are quite welcome. That's a great record there by the Nutmegs. August 1955. Leroy Griffin on lead. The Nutmegs on Herald. Going out to Bob, Ship of Love. What a great tune that is. Got to say hi to Mark. Mark Himphin listening in the UK. It's kind of late there in the UK, Mark. And welcome to the chat room, the video chat room there. And Mark does a radio show, by the way, over in the UK. I had it here on my Facebook page here because he posted on my Facebook page. He does the doo-wop harmony radio on Saturdays. I know it's on Saturdays. You can go to my Johnny G's Facebook page and see it there. And he plays original records. I got a request coming up from Mark later on in the show as we continue here on the Vinyltreasure Show. I better get to playing some Christmas sounds, some sounds of the season. Here's my first for the season as we head to Los Angeles, California. This group would later on record as the Chevelles on the Vita label, if you know that tune, Valley of Love, they do. They also morphed into the Valiants on the Keen label, but this 45 is on the Cal West label. It features Bryce Cofield on lead. Let's go to December of 1955. Give a listen to the Sabres on Cal West. It's called Cool, Cool Christmas.
Now Donna and Blitz and all ballin' a jack, and little Miss Mother's got a new Cadillac. The say Bo Pete's gotta beat that snow, and she's been going steady with a little boy blue. Everybody's happy and cool Christmas to you. Rock and roll your blues away, 'cause it's a happy time of year. Rock and roll your blues away, 'cause it's a happy time of year. Have yourself a holiday, it's the time for fun and cheer. Old Mother Hubbard has a cover well stocked, and King Cole's Tom will have to borrow really rock. You know the old lady that live in a shoe, she got herself a daddy, knows just what to do. Everybody's happy and a cool, cool Christmas to you. Rock and roll your blues away, 'cause it's a happy time of year. Rock and roll your blues away, 'cause it's a happy time of year. Have yourself a holiday, it's time for fun and cheer. Santa's left the North Pole, he's coming to town. Jack and Jill have made it up, they're making it on down. Hickory and Dickory left the flock, and you should hear what Julius says he wants in the sock. Everybody's happy and a cool, cool Christmas to you. Rock and roll your blues away, 'cause it's a happy time of year. Rock and roll your blues away, 'cause it's a happy time of year. Have yourself a holiday, it's the time for fun and cheer. Rock and roll your blues away, 'cause it's a happy time of year. Rock and roll your blues away, 'cause it's a happy time of year. Have yourself a holiday, it's the time for fun and cheer. Rock and roll your blues away.
Sounds of the season here on the Vinyltreasure Show. That group called the Sabres, an early one from 1955. Cool Cool Christmas is the name of that one. It's on the Cal West label. Bryce Cofield on lead. Is not cool, cool weather here. It was actually balmy. Walking in the city, I was in Madison Square Garden to see the Cirque du Soleil. It wasn't as good as the one in Hartford, Connecticut that Barbara and I went to, but it was crazy driving in the city there. It was. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening as we continue here. I have a twin spin by this group from the Bronx, New York, as requested by Richard Fox, currently in our YouTube chat room, and he requested this great group that signed with Joe Davis's JD record label in 1954. They had 4 releases on the JD label, and it's a twin spin going out to Richard Fox, a twin spin, their first release and their 4th release with Lillian Leach on lead. By request for Rich. This is their debut single for the Mellows, August 1954, the Mellows on JD. It's called How Sentimental Can I Be?
I'm not the one to hide my feelings, to run away and cry. I stay in crowds, laughing out loud. Friends question my false gaiety. Since you've been away, how sentimental can I be? Can I be? I go to town, watching all clouds. They all laugh back at me. Since you've been away, how sentimental can I be? Now mornings when I rise and wipe my weeping eyes,
Dreams can never take your place.
oh, mornings when I rise and wipe my weeping eyes, 'tis then,
See your face.
my darling, I need someone new. I'm lost without you. You hold my love, my destiny. Since you've been away, how sentimental can I be? How sentimental can I be?
Sentimental.
Yeah, that's a twin spin by Lillian Leach and the Mellows, going out to Richard Fox, currently in our YouTube chat room there. First, we heard How Sentimental Can I Be, August 1954, released by the Mellows on JD Records. That's their debut single on JB. Written by the second tenor of the group, Harold Johnson. Then we followed it up from August 1955, their fourth release on JD Records, Lovable Lily. Harold Jackson also wrote that tune. After this JD Records, they signed with Celeste. And then in December of 56, they signed with the Candlelight label. Johnny G here, spinning my original vinyl 45s. We do it every Saturday from 10 to midnight. Not many people play only 45s or play them live on the show. I know a lot of people may record them first and play them off their flash drives, but I got it all set up to play right away. It's the old way of doing it, and sometimes I got to apologize for scratchy 45s like this next one. We'll see how it plays. This gal founded the gospel group known as the Car Singers. She signed with Art Roop's specialty label in 1949, but she switched to secular music in 1956. And that's the year for this next 45, June 56. Give a listen to Wynonna Carr, and there is an uncredited vocal group backing her up on this one. They are the Turks. The Turks are backing Wynonna Carr from June 1956, Specialty Records. It's called Jump, Jack, Jump.
Well, crazy about you, baby, cause you're just like a jumping jack. Yeah, crazy about you, baby, cause you're just like a jumping jack. Jump a little, stop, then jump right back. Jump and rock every morning, rock and jump all day. Ooh, jump and rock every morning, rock and jump all day. Jump a little, stop, then rock away. You go to the ball, people stop and stare, looking at you, baby, jumping, rocking everywhere. Crazy about you, baby, cause you're just like a jumping jack. Jump a little, stop, then jump right back. Yeah, jump, 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 baby, jump, 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 baby, jump, 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 baby, jump, 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 baby, jump a little, stop, then jump away. Jump, 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 to the ball, people stop and stare, looking at you, baby, jumping, rocking everywhere. Crazy about you, baby, cause you're just like a jumping jack. Jump a little, stop, then jump right back. Oh, jump, 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 baby, 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 jump, jump, jump.
June 1956 there, Wynonna Carr on the specialty label Jump, Jack, Jump is the name of that one. Being backed up there by the Turks. They'd also back her up on the flip side. She does a nice rendition of the tune Hurt Me. Johnny G hurting for tonight, and hopefully sounding good on the new. They changed up the YouTube stream. I don't know. They change it every week. They do something new. Try this out. Do you like this? Do you like that? What a pain in the neck. You think they would send an email or something. I'm not the greatest when it comes to these computerized things, but it's pretty cool to have a webcam where you can actually see especially an oldie radio show where you play original records. You can actually see that. So for a collector like myself, I would have loved to have that, listening to like the Time Capsule show back then in the 70s. That would have been such a great feature. Anyway, let's continue here. Let's stay out on the West Coast for another gal, as she is from Los Angeles, and her name is Marcine Harris. She recorded with her two other sisters, Beverly and Betty Jean, as the Harris sisters, but in 1956, Marcine Harris went solo, and she had this release on the Crest label, a song she wrote with some vocal group backing her up. So one of those groups, the Eboniers, maybe, I don't know, on the Crest label. They were on this label. Let's go to April '56. She recorded as Dimples Harris for this release. Dimples Harris on Crest. It's called This I Do Believe.
I do believe someone above created you for me to love. Such warmth and tenderness are not of earthly things. One look at you and I see my dreams, my wondrous one, unbelievable you. I'd spend my life worshiping you. Your smile, your touch is all that I desire. When you're close to me, you set my heart afire. Oh, lucky me. Ah, look at me, blessed with your love. Yes, yes, this had to be, for that someone above knew so well I needed just your love. Your love, my love, this I do believe. My wondrous one, unbelievable you. I'd spend my life worshiping you. Your love, my love, this I do believe. This I do believe.
That's Dimples Harris and a group there on the Crest label, April 1956. This I Do Believe is the name of that one. Now, she has a bunch of other releases on different labels into the 70s, like 1971, recorded as Marcine Harris and also as Dimples Harris. I got a number of her records in my collection. I do. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening as we continue here. I had to locate this next actually, I had to look for this next request for a while. I didn't know where it was filed. It was misfiled, and they requested it a few months ago. The doo-wop couple Ron and Dorothy finally located it. Misfiled here, so I don't know how I messed that up, but we head to Los Angeles, California again for the Youngsters. Now, initially they recorded as the Preludes, and their first release on Empire was called Don't Fall in Love Too Soon, as by the Preludes. With their second release, they became the Youngsters. So this is going out to Ron and Dorothy. The second release on Empire for the Youngsters is with Charles Everidge on lead. Let's go to April of 1956 on Empire Records, the Youngsters with Shattered Dreams.
You shattered my dream. You've broken your vow when you told me you love somebody new. I'll never forget when you told me the news. It hurt deep inside, and oh how I cried are the one. Forgive me, my darling, for being untrue. I didn't know how much I love you. Give me one more chance to prove that I care. Don't say that we're through. I love only you. If I've been the fool that I am, I know now that you are the one. Forgive me, my darling, for being untrue. I didn't know how much I love you. Give me one more chance to prove that I care. Don't say that we're through. I love only you.
As for the doo-wop couple, Ron and Dorothy, those are the youngsters. The youngsters from April 1956. It's on the Empire record label. Shattered Dreams is the name of that one. Charles Everidge, he's on lead now. That tune written by George Mottola, also recorded, this group also recorded as The Tempters, they did. On Empire Records. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening. We count down the music chronologically here. We are in the year 1956. How about another flip side? And this is from the same month, April 1956. It's a B-side to a Chicago group, Chicago's group's biggest hit, if you know the tune Up on the Mountain. But I prefer the B-side of that 45. That's my opinion. It was written by their manager, the magnificent Montague. He wrote this tune. This side features Thurman Ray Ramsey on lead, not Johnny Keys. Thurman Ray Ramsey is on lead from April 56. Give a listen to the magnificence on VJ. This is the flip of Up on the Mountain. It's called Why Did She Go?
Bo, 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 bo.
Darling,
Bo, bo, bo.
sweetheart, sugar, honey, darling, baby, oh, I've lost her. Where did she go? I've lost her. Oh, I need her so, both night and day. Why did she go away? Did she go away? I love her, and she once loved me. Oh, oh my dear, please come back to me. So all alone. Why did she go? Why did she go? I remember the night that she said that she loved me so. But she's gone away, and she's caused me pain, caused me misery. Oh, oh, oh. I love you. Please come back to me. Oh, oh my dear, say that you miss me so,
love all along, because I love her so. Loved her so.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's the flip side to Up on the Mountain. If you ever played the flip side, those are the Magnificents, April 1956. And Thurman Ramsey, he's on lead. Why Did She Go is the name of that one. Vivian Carter's VJ record label. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening as we continue here. Got an old request for Warren Russell. Warren, I've been looking for this 45 for. I had it. I knew when you sent it to me via email, I checked my my Ken Klee discography and I had it checked off. I just didn't know where it was. It was like in this. I have all these boxes surrounding me up here in the attic, and I just took a handful and there it was. So this was requested by Bopper Boy Warren, as this singer wore many different hats, by the way, within the entertainment industry. He was a broadcaster and disc jockey, played the sax and trumpet, and he managed a bunch of groups, and he also recorded. And he was a DJ on WHAT in Philadelphia. He managed groups like the Chants and the Modern Ink Spots and the Ecuadors and the Cardinals. And he first recorded in 1952 for the Peacock label, but here's a request for Warren, the first of two that this guy did on the OK record label from November of 56, by request for Bopper Boy Warren, Lloyd Fatman on OK. It's called Where You Been.
You came home late last night. Now you know that ain't right. One eye red, the other green. The saddest sight I've ever seen. Now where you been? I said, where you been? I'll give you one more chance, but best not do it again. If you knew how you looked from now on, you'd be good. Baggy eyes, what a face. You look bad enough to take the wolf man's place. Where you been? Woman, I said, where you been? I'll give you one more chance, but you best not do it again. You look silly, standing there, dirty clothes, messed up hair. No lie, baby, you look bad. You enough to drive a sane man mad. Where you been? I said, where you been? I'll give you one more chance, but you best not do it again. Now won't you listen, baby, baby, where you been? I said, where you been? I'll give you one more chance, but best not do it again.
That's by request for Warren Russell, Lloyd Fatman. I think, Warren, didn't you put down Lloyd Fatman Smith? It wasn't, so I'm looking also under Smith. I couldn't find it. This one just says Lloyd Fatman. Anyway, November 1956, going out to Warren. Where You Been is the name of that one on the OK record label. The first of two on OK as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Here's a request again for Richard Fox. This is a rare one, Richard. Do you have this one on a 45? This is like $1,000 record if you have an original. And although I think, what's his name had the guy that sells on eBay, Buy It Now. He had one for, I think, $800. A nice copy. Seems like, what's his name? It's going to come to me. But it's a rare 45 on William Henry Miller's Acme label. The group is out of Long Island, as most of the acts on the Acme label were. And it's the group's only release, and I like both sides. Now, Richard requested the intended A side. It was co-written by the lead singer of the group. His name is Eddie McGruder. Eddie McGruder on lead. This one from April 57, going out to Richard Fox. These are the love letters on the Acme label. It's called Walking the Streets Alone.
At night I walk the street alone, hoping that you, my love, will come back home. And in my heart, in agony and pain, hoping, my dear, to hold you just once again. Don't write me letters, dear. Don't call me on the phone. Just knock on my door and say, Daddy, I've come back home. No more walking the streets alone. Baby, if you will, please come back home. Yes, dear, my heart in agony and pain. Please, please, my dear, won't you come home
That's by request for Richard Fox. That's a great tune there by the Love Letters. Thanks for requesting that one, Rich. April 1957. It's on the Acme label. Walking the Streets Alone is the name of that one. Eddie McGruder on lead. Flip side's a cool jump. Oh, ooh-wee Nelly. I like both sides of that 45. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening as we continue here. And this next one's a request for Nat Papagallo listening in Naples, Florida. We head back to Los Angeles, California. It's on the Lamp label. It's a sister label to Eddie and Lito Mesner's Aladdin label. They own the Lamp label also. This group is known as the Tantones. Now, Nat requested the B-side to their second release on the Lamp label. It features Leonard W. Bunn on leads. It's going out to Nat. Nat, do you have this 45 in your jukebox? June 1957, the Tantones on Lamp. It's called Tell Me.
Do-ba, 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 do-ba,
that you'll be my baby. Tell me that I still have a chance with you. Chance with you. Ooh, tell me that you're mine. Tell me not to shine, baby, then I'll see the light. Tell me everything. Let me know that we're in, then maybe I'll see the light. Tell me, please don't think maybe. Tell me, please tell me that you'll be my baby. Tell me, won't you tell me that I still have a chance with you. Tell me I've a chance with you.
That's a nice sound out of Los Angeles. Thanks for requesting that one, Nat. June 57, the Tantones on the Lamp record label, a song entitled Tell Me, Leonard W. Bunn lead. The four sides the Tantones do, they're pretty good. I like those records by the Tantones. Johnny G here, spinning original vinyl 45s. We move into 1958 now with a request for the Colonel. This song written by ex-Four Fellows member, the Four Fellows that recorded for the Glory label, but ex-member who wrote this was Lawrence Banks, and he was a member of this group. They were known as the Companions. Let's go to October 1958, going out to the Colonel. It's on the Dove label. Give a listen to the Companions with Falling.
I'm falling. Can't help it, dear. I started falling. The moment you came near, all of a sudden, there I was in love with you. Can't you hear me? I am calling. Down on my bended knees I started calling. Please put my heart at ease. I've given my soul to you. Now tell me what else can I do? I have never walked around with my lately, yes, lately I find that no matter what I do, I keep thinking of you, and I just can't keep you out of my mind. Please tell me you're falling, as I have felt for you. Tell me that you love me too, my darling, as I love you. Please tell me that you love me too, my darling, as I love you.
As by request for the Colonel, the Companions there from October 1958 on the Dove label. That's a great tune, a song entitled Falling. Now, last week I featured Their other release on the Federal label from 1960, I Didn't Know You Got Married. Bessie Banks on lead. She was the wife of Lawrence Banks, who wrote that tune. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. I played a request for Nat last week, a rare 45 by the El Darrows, a group out of Syracuse, New York, and it was on the Vesta label. It was the ballad. It was called Please Surrender, but that was the intended B-side of the 45. Let's give a spin to the A-side, which received lots of airplay in the Syracuse area. It features Jimmy Singleton on lead. He was the brother of Bebo Singleton, who was the lead singer of the Rhythm Cadets. And I think this one's going out to Darrell Letts. I think he said Johnny G's got to play the flip side of this from August of 58, the El Darrows on Vesta. It's called Rock a Bach.
Cat sweet stuff, the music is playing. Chip that step, the rock a box way. Get him, yeah, 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 get him, rock everybody, get him, everybody into the rock baby bar. Gorgeous little sweet cat, you're my chick. You know your eyes can do hypnotizing tricks. Get him, yeah, 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 get him, rock everybody, get him, everybody into the rock baby bar. All right now. Let's rock everybody and do the rockabilly bar. One more time, let's rock, rock everybody, let's rock, rock everybody, let's rock everybody, let's rock everybody, let's rock everybody and do the rockabilly bar.
As for Darrell Letts in our YouTube chat room, those are the El Darrows, August 1958. Rock a Bach is the name of that one. Came out on the Vesta record label. Jimmy Singleton on lead for that one as we move on here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, last week I played a request for Mark Himfin, listening over in the UK. Mark, if you're still up in the chat room, it was 3 a.m. when we began. It's now 4:03. Over in the UK, if Mark's still listening. And he's been a fan of the Vinyl Treasure Show for 14 years since I've been on, since 2005 when I started here. Dave the Rave got me connected with Delana, and we came on. Dave came up with the name of the show, Vinyl Treasure, so I owe a lot to my best friend Dave the Rave for getting me on here. And last week I played a request from Mark, the Vernals, a rare 45 on the Rulu label. The group is out of Philadelphia. The side I played was the up-tempo side, Why Can't You Be True? So let's give a listen to the flip side. He said he likes this side better, and we're going to send it out especially to Mark and all the Teddy Boys tuned in at this late hour over in the UK. June 1958, the Vernals on Rulu. It's called Raindrops. That's going out to Mark Himphin. He is still up listening in the UK. He's looking for records. I hope you find that record box, Mark. Yes, I do, but that's a great tune by the Vernals, June 1958. It's on the Rulu record label. We send that out to Mark. Raindrops is the name of that. We had a lot of raindrops here last night. It was pouring rain. Today wasn't such a great day either, but at least it wasn't pouring like it was. Anyway, Johnny G here for a Saturday evening as we continued. Now, I was saddened this week to hear about the passing of Jack Scott, originally from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. He's not really a group harmony singer, doo-wop singer, but he did leave his mark on the industry along with his group, the Shantones, and he had some very big hits on the Carlton and Top Rank label. So I wanted to play a song that he did tonight to pay tribute to the man. Now, I wanted to play really Two Time and Woman, what I like. It's on the ABC Paramount label, but I couldn't find the copy. I didn't want to play really a big hit by him, but here's the B-side to his second release on the Carlton label, and it's a song he wrote. This one charted on Billboard at number 96, and it was a number 5 record on WKBR in Manchester, New Hampshire, as we lost this man December 12, 2019 at the age of 83. Complications from a heart attack. This one from August 58, the late Jack Scott and the Shantones on Carlton. It's called Geraldine.
Geraldine, 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 Geraldine. queen of all the blues. Geraldine, 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 Geraldine. Cutest gal I've ever seen. Geraldine, 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 Geraldine. Ah, Geraldine, 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 Geraldine. Cutest gal I've ever seen. Geraldine, Geraldine, Geraldine. Now she plays and plays with all the boys like they was a bunch of toys. Geraldine, 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 Geraldine. Cutest gal I've ever seen. Geraldine, 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 Geraldine. Now she's always found hanging around all the boys that's in this town. Geraldine, 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 Geraldine. Cutest gal I've ever seen. Geraldine, 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 Geraldine,
August 1958, the late Jack Scott and the Shantones there on the Carlton record label. Song entitled Geraldine. I got all his 45s. I do. With this one comes with a picture sleeve too. I think that, and he's got an album also. I think I got his LP too. Was able to pick that up from not really expensive. At least I didn't have to pay. Maybe it is. I don't know. But anyway, we pay tribute to the late Jack Scott. That's more of a rockabilly sound. I have a lot of rockabilly. Have a lot of blues. Have gospel 45s in my collection. Rockers. I have a lot of cool tunes. I focus on the group stuff though, but I should mix them all in. I should. But anyway, Johnny G just spinning 45s here as we do. Let's continue here. Now, here's a request for George Tompkins as we go to the Date label. You know, this Date label was co-owned by the actor Burt Lancaster. And if you have a copy of this record, check the publisher here. You'll see his name. He was a partner in the publishing. And I have no information on the group, but they're called the Temples. And by request going out to George Tompkins, it's from April 58, the Temples on Date. It's called Whispering Campaign.
Oh, whispering campaign. Please believe that I adore you. When you don't, it brings me pain. Don't you listen to the gossip of a whispering campaign. Whispering campaign. Yes, I had some other dates, dear, but they all have been in vain. All they done is start the gossip of a whispering campaign. Whispering campaign. Don't believe in what you hear, dear. Most of the time it's never true. Just believe the real thing. The real thing. I belong to you. So let's show them we're together, and their loss will be our gain. Let them tell the world I love you with their whispering campaign. Whispering campaign. With their whispering campaign. Whispering campaign. whispering camping.
By request for George Tompkins, The Temples from April 1958. It's called Whispering Campaign. Came out on the Date label. No, Daryl, not that Peaches and Herb Date label. This is an earlier Date label. Burt Lancaster, co-owner of the label. You want to have that on although I've never seen a stock copy. I think they do exist. The Date label stock copies are crappy styrene 45s. The promos are nice hard vinyls. Johnny G here spinning original vinyl 45s. We continue, and here's a request for California listener Métis Campboy, and it's before this group from Detroit became part of Berry Gordy Jr.'s Motown empire, although Gordy was involved with this record, and he gets a writing credit on the song along with the lead singer, that being William Smokey Robinson. By request for Métis, it's on George Gollner's N record label from July 1958. Here are the Miracles on End with I Cry.
Cried. Well, 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 I cry, cry, cry because you're gone, and I cannot carry on. Please come back where you belong. Well, you said that maybe if I cried every day, you'd come running back to me. So now I sit and cry, I'm just about to die. Oh, darling, how long will you be? Ooh, I cry, cry, cry because you're gone. Please come back where you belong, or I will not carry on. Well, you said that maybe if I cried every day, you'd come running back to me. So now I sit and cry, I'm just about to die. Oh, darling, how long will you be? Ooh, I cry, 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 cry. Oh, yes, I cry. Once you're gone, oh, don't you hear me cry?
As by request for California listener Métis Campboy, early Miracles doo-wop style there, the Miracles. Smokey Robinson on lead, originally released July 1958 on the N label. I Cry is the name of that one. Now, Gollner, he would release this twice. Initially, I mentioned July 58, but then in January 61 to ride the coattails of the Tamla release Shop Around that came out that was a hit for the Miracles. Tried to put this one out, but it didn't work. It didn't work for them, but that's a great request. Thanks for requesting that one. I hope the copyright police don't shut me down for that one, though. As we continue here on the Vinyltreasure Show, let's stay on the George Gollner N label with a request for the Colonel. This group is out of Portchester, New York, very close to where your host Johnny G lives. Now, they were all 18 and 19-year-olds when they recorded this. Now, it features Arthur Epps on lead, going out to the Colonel from February 58. They're called the Uniques. The Uniques on the N label. It's called Tell the Angels.
Tell the angels that I've lost my girl somewhere in this big wide world. Although I can't keep it to myself, that's why I must tell it to the ones above. So dearest to me, even though we're apart, you're part of my heart. That's why I have to say I need you. I need your love. Those words you often spoke to me, well, they were so sympathetic. Yes, and when you tried to talk to me, that's when I was so romantic. Yes, and tell it to the angels how I lost my girl somewhere in this big wide world. And though I can't keep it to myself, that's why I must tell it to the ones above. So dearest to me, even though we're apart, you're part of my heart. That's why I just say I need you. I need your love. Go on,
That's by request for the Colonel, February 1958. They're called the Uniques. The Uniques on the N label. It's called Tell the Angels. Arthur Epps on lead for that one. Arthur Epps would have some solo singles. I do have, I think, one of the three that he does on the Spark label out of New York City. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening, spinning original vinyl 45s. Let's continue here. Played a request last week for Richard Fox, was by a group out of Brooklyn, New York. They were called the Gay Tunes. It was on the Dome label. I featured the B-side of the 45. Richard requested Don't Go, but this was the intended A-side, arranged by Sammy Lowe. It's with Earl Curton on lead, and this one from May of 1958, the Gay Tunes on Dome. I think there's an error in the title. It's called Got You on Mind. I think it should read Got You on My Mind, I think, but let's give it a spin here. This is the intended A-side, the Gay Tunes on Dome with Got You on Mind. That's what it says.
Well, I got you on my mind. Yes, I've got you on my mind. Every day you hear me say, I've been a lonely fool. How can I go with you always on my mind? Whoa, I cry. I died since you go. Hope and pray someday you come home. Well, I got you on my mind. Yes, I've got you on my mind. Every day you hear me say, I've been alone. With you always on my mind. cry, I die since you go. Hope and pray someday you come home. Well, I got you on my mind. Yes, I've got you on my mind. Every day you hear me say, I've been a lonely fool. I've been a lonely fool with you always on my mind. Well, I got you on my mind. Yes, I've got you on my mind. Yes, I've got you on my mind.
That's the intended A-side of that Gay Tunes 45 on the Dome label. May 1958, it's called, well, it's printed Got You On Mine, but it's Got You On My Mind. That's what it's got to be. Anyway, that's the intended A-side. Johnny G here, continuing here on the Vinyl Treasure Show as we stay in Brooklyn for a request for Nat Papagallo. This one on the Champ label. Now, the group is called the Roulettes. They were involved with band leader Al Brown. Now, George Gollner also involved with this, as were two other people from Philadelphia, Jocko Henderson and Barry Golder. They co-own the Mainline record label. Now, this song Nat requested was written by the lead singer. His name is Billy Galante. Billy Galante on lead from August 58. Going out to Nat. These are the Roulettes on the Champ label with I See a Star.
I see a star shining so high above.
Those are the Roulettes. The Roulettes requested by Nat Papagallo, listening in Naples, Florida. Billy Galante on lead, August 1958. I See a Star is the name of that one on the Champ label. The first time I heard that was Norm N. Knight on the Night Train show when he played that record. That's the first time I heard it. Now, they would have one more release as the Singing Roulettes on the Scepter label in 1959. Hasten Jason. That's not an easy record to find. I have a warp on my copy. Need to find a new copy of that. Johnny G here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, spinning original vinyl 45s. We do it every Saturday from 10 to midnight, and we are in the year 1959 now. And on the last Vinyl Treasure Show, I played a request for George Tompkins by a group called the Sparkle Tones. They were out of Akron, Ohio, and this group, the Sparkle Tones, would evolve into the Romantics, of course, that backed up Ruby of the Romantics. But I featured Will You Dream. George requested Will You Dream, so let's give it a listen to the flip side before I file it back down. In the No Humidity Basement from June 59, the Scarlet Tones. The Scarlet Tones on Ember. It's called Do You Remember?
Doomanapa-dub, doomanapa-dub-dub-dub. Do you remember the night when first we met? And I told you I never shall forget you, my darling. You'll be here in my heart. Here in my heart. I love you was all that I could say when it happened. I'd fallen all the way, oh my darling, you know I love you so. We were in love, love was ours. We were like two budding flowers, running away. Now that I have you, I love you more, even more, and you know it. Oh girl, that I adore, say you love me and stay here in my heart. We were in love, love was ours. We were like two budding flowers, caught in the web of happiness. For your love, love, darling, is all I possess. Now that I have you, I love you more, even more, and you know it. Oh girl, that I adore, say you love me and stay here in my heart. Do you remember when first we met? And I told you I never shall forget.
A group called the Scarlet Tones. The Scarlet Tones, June 1959, Al Silver's Ember record label. Do You Remember is the name of that one. It goes right back down in the No Humidity Basement. Actually, I have a Stone Mint copy of that. That was my first press, or first copy of that 45. Johnny G needs his head examined. I definitely do. I've been upgrading records lately from a few people who have been coming over bringing 45s. Been playing them on my turntables to get the better quality sound. Anyway, as we continue here with more requests, here's another request for George Tompkins, and the hardest 45 to find by this Bronx, New York group. They're called the Five Delights. Now, over the last 2 weeks, I featured both sides of their Newport 45. You may own it on the Unart label. There'll Be No Goodbye. That was one side. Okie Dokie Mama was the flip side. But here's their rarest one on the Able label. Features Ed Jordan on lead. This is arranged by Tico Wilshire. This one going out to George Tompkins from June 1959. The Five Delights on Able. It's called The Thought of Losing You.
How can I phrase, dear, the thought of losing beside me as long as skies are blue. Remember how the time passed. Remember as I do. Remember this and tell me, was not this love so true? Oh, my sweet cherry, I'll miss you. Well, I know not where we failed to share the glory of fantasy. For one love so strong like this belongs in a dream world, but who lost the key? Well, I say, remember how the time passed. Remember as I do. Remember this and tell me, was not this love so true? Oh, my sweet cherry, I'll miss you. I'll miss you.
They're called the Five Delights. The Five Delights there. From June of 1959, Ed Jordan on lead for that one. Able Records, The Thought of Losing You. That's very nice sound there. And that's one of their harder records. It's not a cheapie if you have this on original. It's a styrene press, and they would also record as the Mood Makers on the Bambi label. I think I played both sides of their 45. Johnny G here spinning original vinyl 45s. Here's another one for Bopper Boy Warren. Warren, this was another old request of yours. I was, again, luckily, I put my hand in a box and I see this record. I said, wait a minute. Warren requested a Jerry Byrne 45, and I went to check, and this was it. This artist out of New Orleans, Louisiana, had 4 on Art Roop's specialty label. Now, his signature song was a tune called Lights Out from 1958. That was his first. Warren requested his third of 4 on the specialty label. From May of 59, give a listen to Jerry Byrne on specialty. It's called Carry On.
Shuffle Jamaica, shimmy Texas pop, stroll chicken mess around and do the bop. How you carry on? How you carry on? 1 minute you here and the next you gone. How you carry on? Ball in the jack and now you do the slop. I think you flip your lid 'cause you never ever stop. How you carry on? How you carry on? 1 minute you here and the next you gone. How you carry on? Shucking in a jive and rocking in a roll. Ever since she was old enough to know how to carry on. How to carry on. 1 minute you here and the next you gone. How you carry on. She was old enough to know how to carry on. How to carry on. 1 minute you here and the next you gone. How you carry on. The second line jumping to the honky tonk. You're shuffling downtown doing the okey dokey song. How you carry on. How you carry on. 1 minute you here and the next you gone.
how you carry on.
As going out to Warren Russell, a cool rocker there by Jerry Byrne. Jerry Byrne there, May 1959. Carry On is the name of that one. Came out on the Specialty record label. Now, Jerry Byrne unfortunately passed away April 17th of 2010 at the age of 68 from lung cancer. And unfortunately, that happened. But that was a cool rocker he left us with. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, here's an ultra rare 45 out of New York City. It's on the Onesie label, which is associated with Florence Greenberg's Scepter label. I'm guessing, as the publisher on this is Scepter Onesie, which is exactly the same listing on the Shirelles' Tonight's the Night, but the writer credits Joe A. Bernard, who wrote both sides of this. I'm guessing he's also doing lead. I think, Daryl, you may have requested this rare 45. I don't know how it came up, but I think you did. Maybe you requested it. At least Charlene told me you did. But it's from 1959. These are the Don Juans. The Don Juans on the Onesie label. It's called The Girl of My Dreams.
The girl of my dreams, she's mine forevermore. At last I found the girl that I've been searching for. She's mine forever. She's the girl of my dreams. The girl of my dreams. Her heart is close to mine. She's wonderful to me. She is my Valentine. I'll always love her. She's the girl of my dreams. My only wish has suddenly come true. Yes, it came true when she said, I love you. I love you. Will always be the girl of my dreams. Someday will be my wife. We'll raise a family. We'll live in paradise. Now that I found it, I'll never let her go. Girl of my dreams, 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 girl of my dreams.
Well, it's worth a play, Daryl, if you didn't request it. It's a great record, a rare 45, too, by a group called the Don Juans. Flip side's nice, too. It's called Dolores. That side's called The Girl of My Dreams, 1959. It's on the Onesie record label. Now, this group is not related to any other Don Juan's group, if you may think they're the group from Fortune. No, they're completely different group. Johnny G here, spinning original vinyl 45s as we continue here. Now, on last week's show, I played a request for a bopper boy Warren, a group out of Toledo, Ohio, on the Oasis label. They were called The Dwellers. Now, Warren requested the intended B-side. What was the name of it? I didn't write it down. But anyway, we're going to give a listen to the A side of this 45. They're called The Dwellers from June of 1959. The Dwellers on Oasis. It's called Oh Sweetie.
I went to dance the other night. I was feeling so blue, and my heart lighted up when they introduced me to you. When they
Johnny G gets caught. Those are the Dwellers. The Dwellers on the Oasis label, a song entitled Oh Sweetie, June 1959. That's the intended B-side. The side that I played you, Daryl typed it in. What's That Thing Called Love? That was the name of it. Johnny G here, spinning original 45s. Let's continue here now. This next artist was a black orchestra leader and vocalist born in Caldwell, Louisiana, but relocated to Los Angeles. Had a number of releases on the Modern label with his group called the Honey Jumpers, and also some solo releases. And here's the 7th of 8th on Leon Renee's Class label, and a song he wrote. This one requested by Warren Russell. This was your request for last week, Warren, from January 1959. It's Oscar McLally. It's on Class Records. It's called My Heart Speaks.
My heart speaks to you. It tells you what you should do on this lonely day. You should come my way and love me as I love you. My heart says, come to me. Come to me and share this one great love I give to thee. Come to me. Please, darling, come to me. Hear my heart. Come to me. Come to me. Come to me. Come to me. The way you smile, the way your eyes, such loveliness, my heart stands still. The way you walk, the way you talk, how could such charms be so real? My heart says, take my hand and say you understand, and you accept this love I give to thee. Take my heart, please, darling. Take my heart, hear my heart. Take my heart, come to me. Take my heart, my heart beats. Come to me, come to me. Angels sing, my heart
As by request for Warren, that's a cool tune by Oscar McLally, January 1959. It's on the Class label. It's called My Heart Speaks. I like that one there in the YouTube chat. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, we move into 1960 now. And last week I played a request for the Colonel, an ultra-rare 45 on the Stroll label, a group called the Phytones originally, but they were forced to change their name because of the existing Phytones that recorded for Angletone Records. So they changed their name to the Strolls, and the Colonel requested Mr. Faith, which was the intended B-side, but let's give a listen to the intended A-side from March of 1960. They're called the Strolls on this one, and what they did is the somebody took the time to type up little little pieces of paper on like notebook paper and actually glue them on the 45s. You know how long that must have taken? But what they did is so they taped the Strolls over the Phytones on this white promo, and they did something with the title, because the title has also a type strip on the top. There's only one word that it is down that you see, but the song is called Down, 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 Down. Let's give a listen to the Strolls from March of '60 on Stroll with Down, 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 Down.
Rock thou down.
Oh, yeah.
Rock thou down.
Rock thou down. Oh, yeah.
Rock thou
down. Rock thou down. Oh, now. Rock thou down. Oh, yeah. We're gonna fall all over tonight. Everything is moving all night. Rock that down, oh, to the ground. Rock that down, 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 oh, down. Push out the window, open up the door. Come on, everybody, rock this house down to the floor. Rock that down, down, oh, down. Rock that down, 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 oh, down. Hear that music, oh, sounds so good. Put me in that funny mood, make me see you, and I wanna, oh, now, oh, yeah, oh, now, feel so good, feel so good, feel so good, oh, so good, say that I feel so nice, oh, so nice,
That's a rare 45, I got to tell you. That Geronimo, check out that record there. That record on the Stroll label. They're called, I have it by the Strolls, March 1960. It's called Down, 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 Down. That's the name of that one, but that's a rare 45 now. Prior to this release, they backed up someone by the name of Carl Thomas on this label, which I do have. I do have that 45 also. Johnny G here, spinning original vinyl 45s. Here's another sound of the season. I think this is a Jamaican record. I think actually North Dakota Bob requested this a number of years ago, and I haven't played it since. But this one came out on two labels, originally in December of '61 on the Duncan label, then sometime in either '63 or '64 or '65 on the M&L label, and they're both rare, and I have them both, but I'm spinning it on M&L, and the artist goes by the name of Sir Jablonski, but he is really Vincent Hill, and he wrote this tune. So I guess we'll send it out to North Dakota Bob. It's Sir Jablonski and the Unknowns, or With the Unknowns. It's from originally December '61. I'm featuring it on the M&L label. It's called A Merry Christmas.
I'm singing, and in my heart I'm crying. I missed you, my darling, but Christmas Day I'll be wishing Merry Christmas, a Merry Christmas to you. At night I'll pray that we will meet someday, and you are my only one, and you are one in a million. Merry Christmas, a Merry Christmas to you.
stay. Silent night will be playing, and tears from your eyes will be falling. Your children and your friends, they will be wishing you. Baby, I hope that their wishes come true. A Merry Christmas, dear, and Happy New Year's. May your days be brighter and you'll be happy forever. Merry Christmas, a Merry Christmas to you.
Sounds of the season here on the Vinyltreasure Show. Those are that's Serge Jablonski and the Unknowns, December 61. It sounds later than that. It doesn't sound like a 61 sound. A Merry Christmas, a great group in the background there. It's on the M&L record label. We'll send that one out to North Dakota Bob as we continue here in 1961. Last week I played a request for Matey Campboy by the Universals. They were from Amityville, New York. Matey requested I'll Just Have to Go On Dreaming, but let's give a listen to the flip side. I think this was the intended A-side. Features Fred Miller on lead. I think, Daryl, you may have asked to play this side too, from September 61, the Universals on Festival. It's called Love Bound.
I dreamed I was dancing in Wonderland as I lay on my pillow last night, and I met an angel in Wonderland. She kissed me and held me so tight, and my head went round and round, and my heart went up and down. When I finally touched the ground, then I knew I was love bound. Oh, we walked and we talked for a little while. She smiled and my heart beat so fast, and after we kissed for a little while, I knew I found true love at last. Then my head went round and round, and my heart went up and down. When I finally touched the ground, then I knew I was love bound. Oh, we walked and we talked for a little while. She smiled and my heart beat so fast, and after we kissed for a little while, I knew I found true love at last. Then my head went round and round, and my heart went up and down. When I finally touched the ground, then I knew I was love bound. Oh, little girl, you made my heart go up and down. We went.
September 61 release for the Universals. The Universals on Festival Records. Fred Miller, he's the lead singer. Love Bound is the name of the tune as we continue here on Vinyl Treasures. Have no information on this next 45 or this group. They are called, I have it on the 45, but not the group. They're called the Superiors, not to be confused with the group that recorded for the Atco Mainline label. This one's on Sid Nathan's Federal label. It was written by Sonny Thompson and Floyd Webber, October 61. Let's give it a spin. The Superiors on Federal. It's called Dance of Love.
Dance of love, dance of love, dance, oh, dance. I asked her for a dance, she said it was alright. I took her by the hand and squeezed her in so tight. We danced across the floor, turning round and round. We were doing the dance of love. I whispered in her ear as she pressed her face to mine. I love to have you near, I want you all the time. We danced across the floor, turning round and round. We were doing the dance of love, but she doesn't know my name. Her heart I wish to steal, playing the loving game. For I know my love is for real. I whispered in her ear as she pressed her face to mine. I love to have you near, I want you all the time. We danced across the floor, turning round and round. We were doing the dance of love. Dance of love, dance of love, dance, oh, dance of
They're called the Superiors. The Superiors from October 61. It's on Federal Records. And the song called Dance of Love. I don't know anything else about the group. I'm sorry, I don't, but that's a cool tune. Johnny G spinning early 1960s 45s. Here's a request for California listener Matey Campboy. We head back to New Haven, Connecticut for a group called the New Yorkers. They were really a duo, though. This isn't a group, this is a duo that consisted of ex-5 Satin members, Fred Paris and Lou Pebbles, and they were members of the 5 Satins. It's the first of 2 on Slim Rose's Wall label. Yes, Slim Rose, the owner of Times Square Records, also had a label called Wall Records. This one from March of 61, going out to Matey, the New Yorkers on Wall. It's called At Night, in parentheses, I Dream a Little Dream a Little Dream. Mess that up.
La 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 la.
Shadows are green.
My request for Matey Campboy, the New Yorkers, March 1961, Dream a Little Dream. It's actually At Night, Dream a Little Dream. It's on the Wall record label. They also recorded as the Wildwoods on the Caprice record label. If you have that record, I do. Anyway, When the Swallows Come Back to Capistrano. That's the Wildwoods. Johnny G here. We are in Vinyl Treasure Overtime. And last week I played a request for The Colonel by the Preludes 5 out of Brooklyn. Was the intended B-side of the 45. It was called Don't You Know Love. Now, the A-side charted nationally, believe it or not. This was a big number 80 on the Billboard Hot 100. So let's give a listen to the intended A-side from March of 61. The Preludes 5 on my copy on the Pick label. It's a DJ with the Stamper 5 on the label. It's called Starlight. That group initially known as the Preludes, but they were forced to change their name to the Preludes 5, March 61. Featured it on the Preludes promo. Somebody stamped the number 5 right next to their name. And that one there on the Pick label, a song entitled Starlight, as we continue here in Vinyl Treasure Overtime. Now here's a request for the Colonel on a label called 4 Star Records, which is mostly country, but there were 445s on the label that were by vocal groups, and this was one of them. They were known as the Willows, not to be confused with the Church Bells May Ring group, but this is a request for the Colonel from August 61, the Willows on 4 Star. It's called Now That I Have You.
Shoot-a-bop, 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 shoo-be-doo-be-doo. Shoot-a-bop, ooh, shoot-a-bop, ooh, shoot-a-bop, ooh, shoot-a-bop.
I won't cry anymore now that I have you. I won't cry anymore. I won't be sad and blue. No more counting the tears that I've shed through the years. Now that I have you. darling, can you see? You at last put an end to all this misery. From my heart filled sorrow comes a bright tomorrow. Now that I found you, the other night you told me that you could love me too. You wore my ring on your finger just to prove what you said was true. I won't cry anymore now that I have you. I won't cry anymore. I won't be sad and blue. No more counting the tears that I've shed through the years. Now that I have you.
That's a nice tune going out to the Colonel. The Willows there from August 1961 on the 4-Star record label. A song entitled Now That I Have You. As we continue here in Vinyl Treasure Overtime, we go to Vince Rago's Universal label out of Wilmington, Delaware, for a request for Nat Papagallo. It features Lonnie Evans on lead. They're called Lonnie and the Crisis. And Slim Rose, owner of Times Square Records, would secure the rights to re-release this on the Times Square label in '63. Cashbox even reviewed that release December 21st, 1963, and it also came out on the Relic label, but I'm featuring it on the original label, Universal Records, going out to Nat, November '61. Lonnie and the Crisis with Bells in the Chapel. That's going out to Nat Papagallo, Lonnie and the Crisis. Lonnie Evans on lead. November 1961, Bells in the Chapel is the name of that one on the Universal record label. You may own it on Times Square Records or maybe even Relic Records. Flip side is Santa Town, USA, a pretty cool Christmas song. And how about a twin spin for Nat Papagallo? He also requested this one, this group out of Kiski Valley, Pittsburgh. Their first release was on the Brent label in 1960. They followed it up with this one on the Matador label. They would also record as the Four Chaps on the Cohen C label in 65. This is by request for Nat from May 61, the Chaps on Matador. It's called They'll Never Be.
So heavenly, there'll never be another you. You bring my happiness in my loneliness. Though it seems you're in my dream, heaven only knows how much I love you so. You have that certain smile, make my life worthwhile. There'll never be another you.
That's going out to all the Pittsburgh listeners and also to Nat. Those are the Chaps, May 1961 on the Matador label. They'll Never Be. We are in Johnny G Vinyl Treasure overtime. We are as we continue here. Now, here's a leftover from my Aunt Mary's tribute show a couple of weeks ago. She purchased this 45 in the fall of 1961. This group from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We stay in Pittsburgh, and we all love this group. It's their fourth of 13 releases on the Colpix label. This one charted number 16 on Cashbox, number 7, a big number 7 hit on the Billboard Hot 100. It features Cornelius Harp on lead. We go to September of 1961, the Marcells on Colpix with their version of Heartaches.
Watch out! Here we go again.
Yep, 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 worp, worp, worp. Heartache.
Heartaches.
Dem, dem, dem.
Heartaches.
Dem, 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 dem.
Heartaches.
Dem, dem, dem.
Heartaches.
Dem, 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 dem. Dem, 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 dem.
Heartaches.
Dem, 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 dem. Dem, 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 dem. Dem, dem, dem. Yep, 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 worp, worp, worp. Heartache. Dem, 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 dem.
Loving you and only heartache. Your kiss was such a sacred thing to me.
yep, work,
Hits here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Rarely play hits, but that was left over from my aunt's tribute show. The Marcells, Cornelius Harp and the Marcells, September 61. Their second biggest hit, I think. That's their second. Blue Moon, their first. Heartaches, their second. Colpix Records. She would equally play the flip side of this, a great B-side. It's called My Love for You. Of course, you know that's coming next Saturday as we continue here in Vinyl Treasure Overtime. Here's yet another request for Mady Campboy as she asked if I could play this trio of girls from Detroit, Michigan. They were discovered by Harry Balk, who owned the Twirl label. Now, this was the group's first of two on the Twirl label. Now, the members were two sisters, Angela and Lisa Pamalia, along with Patty Masclia. Collectively, they were known as the Young Sisters. So this is going out to Mady from August 62, the Young Sisters on Twirl. It's called My Guy.
Soon you'll be leaving. You're going away. But before you leave me, there's something I want to say. My guy, my guy, my guy, you're the best boyfriend in the world. You made my head go round in the world. Till you met somebody new. Tell me, what did I do to you? I brought you happiness. My God, never did I cause you loneliness. But if you love her, then do whatever's best. Still you'll be my guy. Tell me, what did I do? Or was it something I said? If you don't reveal what I did wrong, you drive me out of my mind. So long and goodbye, my guy. Just overlook the teardrops in my eyes. I guess they'd meant for our love to die. But you always be my guy, my guy, my guy. Good, goodbye, my guy, my guy.
As a good girl group sound there by the Young Sisters, going out to Mady Campboy. August 62, it's on the Twirl label out of Detroit, Michigan, a song entitled My Guy. They had one more release on the Mala label in 1963 as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Overtime. Featured the B-side of this 45 last week by Freddie Dame on the original label called Knick-Knack Records. It was called Love is a Game. Now, the A-side is actually a duet by Freddie and Claire, and it's Freddie Dame and Claire Spaltro. Now, again, with Bobby's Trailers from February 62, Freddie and Claire on Knick-Knack with Right After School. Sounds of 1962 here as we start to close down on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Freddie and Claire from February 1962. Right After School is the name of that one. It featured it on the original label Knick-Knack Records. It was also picked up by Frank Sinatra's Reprise label. You can get that on the Reprise label also as we continue here. And here's the last request for tonight. It goes out to my California listener, Matey Campboy. Featured this group last week on the ABC Paramount label from October 59, a request for Warren. It was called No One. Let's move into the fall of 1962 now as we go to George Goldner's Gone record label by request for Matey. These are the Dubs with Richard Blandon on lead. It's their sixth release on the Gone label. This one charted number 4 on KTKT in Tucson, Arizona. Going out to Matey from September 62, the Dubs on Gone. It's called You're Free to Go.
You're free to go. You're free to go. Here I've done the best I could. You're free to go. You're free to go. If you really feel you should, I love you so. I love you so much more than you'll ever know. You're free to go.
That's the last request for tonight. It goes out to Matey Campboy. Great tune for the Dubs. September 62, George Goldner's Gone record label. You're free to go. You're not free to go. 2 more 45s to go, and then you'll be free to go. And last week I played a request for Richard Fox from early 64 on the CB label. It was by Leo Wright and the LJs. The song called It Is I. That was the intended B-side of the 45. Let's give it a listen to the flip side before I file it back down in the No Humidity basement. It was written by the lead singer. His name is Leo Wright. This was from early 64 on the CB label, Leo Wright and the LJs. And the song is called I Wonder.
I wonder
That's the intended A-side for Leo Wright and the LJ's early 1964 release on the CB record label. A song entitled I Wonder. Richard Fox requested the flip side of that, which is a pretty good tune also. It Is I was the name of that one. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to original vinyl 45s out of my collection. You want to get in touch with Johnny G, send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. You can go to my YouTube account and you can review this whole show if you want. You can look at the labels. You can also go to my website, vinyltreasures.net. You can stream or download the shows there, or send me an email for some requests. Been playing a lot of requests for you folks. You're picking out some great tunes, and competition amongst all you guys with some great records. So continue with the requests. If I have the 45s, of course I'll feature them. If not, I'll try to buy them. I will. But that's going to do it for tonight. We're going to close the show. Head back to Los Angeles, California for this group that was an offshoot of the Lions. The Lions that recorded on the Rendezvous label. They do a nice song called Two-Timing Lover, but the group changed their name to the Rasonics, and it's on Larry Johnson's Little Larry record label from 1964. The closer tonight is by the Rasonics. It's called With Your Love to Guide Me. And I think, Matey, you're going to like this record if you haven't requested it. Maybe you have, I don't remember. But I predict that Matey will like this closer tonight. But anyway, that's going to do it, folks. Please tune in tomorrow evening for my buddy Dave the Raven, his Relics and Rarities show. Dave will be on from 9 to midnight right here on Top Shelf Oldies and all the cool shows during the week on Top Shelves. I'll be back next Saturday from 10 to midnight right here on Top Shelf Oldies with another cool edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. So that's going to do it, folks. Thanks again, Charlene, for all your help. Everybody have a safe and happy week. I'll see you here next Saturday night on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Just want to say, everybody, so long.
My dear, I know my love will last a long, long while. With your sweet kiss, pledge of your love and a smile. Stand by me, and darling, I'll be strong. With just your love to guide me on. The touch of your hand is such a fountain of bliss. I give my heart, body and soul for your kiss. So stand by me, and darling, I'll be strong. With just your love to guide me on. I've been bad so long, but now I know
It's because of a love I've yet to find.
what with your love to lead me on.
I'm sure, darling, that everything will turn out fine.
With your love, I can be happy, not sad. With your love, I will no longer be bad. So stand by me, and darling, I'll be strong. With just your love.
Okay, folks. I knew, matey, you have this record. It's a good tune. Maybe you requested this, matey. You did. It's a great record by the Rasonics. Got some water damage on it. With Your Love to Guide Me is the name of that one. It's a great tune by the Rasonics. Put this in here. And that's going to do it, folks. Johnny G's tired tonight. I was in the city with Barbara today, so I was doing some walking around. Everybody had those Santa Claus outfits. It was weird. I think there's a special day or something. But anyway, thanks so much for sticking around. And Mark, you're up this late. It's morning time over there in UK. But thanks for sticking around for the live show. You can watch it on the archive. You can. Anyway, thanks, guys, for sticking around. I'll see you here next Saturday, hopefully at 10 p.m. right here on Top Shelf Oldies and the Vinyltreasure Show. Hope you dug on all the tunes tonight. And Johnny G's going to go relax now and watch the Bengals get blown out by the Patriots tomorrow. Anyway, so good night, everybody. I'll see you next week. Take care. Night, all. Let me shut down.